to build a relationship with China. But of course, the biggest conversation is how intra-African trade can be boosted. So we have right there in the Lagos studio, the vice president in charge of international and national relations, West Africa cross-border traders, and he's also the coordinator of Saki Ose Cooperative, Haji Salami Alasho Adura. Thank you so much, Mr. Alasho Adura, for your time. And I know you have a lot to share with us when it comes to cross-border trading. But what is your perspective? We keep talking about boosting intra-African trade. Some time ago, I had a conversation with our correspondent who is in the Sahel and told us how porous our borders are, and a lot of uncaptured trade. I don't want to call it illegal. Uncaptured trade is going on. But share with us your own experience about cross-border trading between Nigeria and the neighbors.
Yes. Good morning, my sister and brothers. My name is Alhaji Salami Nasiru Alasho Adua. I'm an expert on cross-border trade. Let me talk about trade corridors. All of you know that in Nigeria we have about 6 geopolitical zones. On those 6 geopolitical zones, we have only 5 that share border with Nigeria and its neighboring country. When we start with the northwest, we have Lagos State. We share border with Benin Republic through Seme and the Wodiakpa. We have Ogun State. We share border through Idiroko and Imeko and others. When you are talking about Oyo State, you have Shaki, you have Ijio. Those areas, they share border with Benin Republic. When you now go to the north central, in the north central, you have Barunte local government. We share border with Benin Republic through Shikanda and Okuta. When you go to the Babana, that is in Niger State, they share borders. That is Niger State. When you go to Benue, Benue share border with Cameroon to the river. I'm not going to give some of the details because we don't have time. When you now go to the northwest, in the northwest, you have Dole Kane, you have Samia, you have Kamba. All those mentioned here, they are in Kebbi State. When you now go to, let us take Sokoto. Sokoto, we have Ilela. When you go to Katsina, you have Jibia, you have Meyaradua. When you go to Jega, in Jega, you can talk about Megatari, you talk about other borders that I cannot mention. That is the northwest. When you now go to the northeast, in the northeast, you have Gendo, that is in Jega. I think it should be Yobe. You have Banki, you have Gambaru in Benue. And when you go to you go to Adamawa, you have Mobi. When you go to Taraba, you have Gembo. When you now go to the south, you have Umfum, Orom, all those borders. That is where we are doing trade between Nigeria and its neighboring country. You see the number of borders that are mentioned, there are many between Nigeria and its neighboring countries. This is the information, the first information I wanted to share with you. When you are talking about cross-border trade, you should know which border you are sharing with your neighboring country. You are talking about that our border are porous. Yes, our border are porous, but I disagree. We did not have infrastructure put it in place. If we put infrastructure in place, you should have a connecting point. What I'm saying, connecting point, when you look at, let us take Bagudo corridors. that is in Birnin Kebbi. That corridors, when you are coming to Jega, either you want it or you don't want it, you have to go through Maje. Those who know those corridors. So when you go to other countries, the security agent, all this information I'm giving to you, they cannot sit down and say, if you are coming to from so areas, what is the transit point that you cannot say that we are going to have a checking point here where we can monitor people? That is in time of when you are talking about Nigeria border porous. When you are coming from Owode Apa, you are coming from Seme. Do you go without going to Gbagi Bridge? So when people are talking about porous, I disagree with them. Let us have proper structure in Nigeria. The moment we don't have proper structure.
All right, Alhaji.
Yes.
So there's also the issue with the costs, because, you shared this information with me, the case study that if a truck, a load of goods is transiting from Nigeria to Ghana, it will have to incur some of this, and I hope we can have that slide. At Benin, there's the road maintenance of 0.85%. There's a security tax of 0.5%. There's a custom bond of 0.25%. There's custom stamp of statistics. There's tracking. There's custom clearing services. There's statistics, and then it will go from there to Togo, where it has almost the same custom bond, scale, the turn of each of the trucks, 1% of statistics, tracking of about 15,000 surface per truck. So when you look at this, do you think that perhaps we Africans, we are the ones who are making it difficult for us also to actually trade among ourselves? And yes, we keep preaching AFCFTA and intra-African trade.
Yes, madam. Thank you very much. You see, we have a problem into West African region. When you are talking about good in transit, you talk about interstate roads policy. The interstate roads policy say that the moment you are moving your good from loading point to final destination, you should have a single guarantors. Who are those guarantors? We have 3 types of guarantors. We have bank. In Nigeria, it's Nezim Bank. Nezim Bank is in charge of facilitating good in transit. In Ghana, we have insurance company. And when you go to the other French-speaking country, is their Chamber of Commerce. Is this program is working? The program is not working because we don't have structure in place. When you look at, you talk about good in transit. Yes. When you go to Lagos, Abidjan corridors, we have 2 types of transit levy that we are paying. In Benin Republic, they collect 7.23% statistic. When Togo collect 1%. In time of road maintenance, Benin collect 0.85%, you mentioned. If the ECOWAS Commission are doing their job, because you don't want us to talk the truth, the ECOWAS Commission, what is their role? What are they doing? They are not doing proper job in terms of harmonizing. If you are going to have a next meeting, I want them to be there. The ECOWAS Commission, let the ECOWAS Commission should be there. Let the Ministry of Trade should be there. Let Ministry of Transport to be there. I, Alhaji Salami, say it. I will now ask them question. Does ECOWAS doesn't know that we have been paying different levy along the corridors? What is their duty? What is the duty of interstate road scheme, which was signed in 1990? What is the role of that scheme? These are the problems. When you look at along our corridors, the same ECOWAS say that the moment you generate more than 200 tons of cargo, you should have way bridge. Along your corridors, along Lagos corridor is representing 90% of volume of trade. And Nigeria is representing 70% of volume of trade. Where is the infrastructures along those roads? These are the questions. This meeting you are calling
but
me...
But Alhaji, yes. Alhaji, yes. Let me just ask, is the issue with infrastructure or the issue is with the people?
Yes, madam, let me tell you something. I've been in East Africa. I've been in South Africa. I've been in North Africa. What I'm telling you here, when we were doing this, how to formalize cross-border trade, is in Nigeria, in Togo, we signed an MOU with this African Union. They were there, the ECOWAS was there. The recommendation I made in the year 2022, I told them, you are talking about formalizing trade. What is infrastructures? Madam, go to Seme border. Say I say it. Is the scanning working? Is the way bridge working? Is it we, private sector, will provide the way bridge? What are they doing with the money they are collecting? What are they doing the revenue they are collecting? When you go to East Africa, you go to South Africa, their infrastructure is working. But if you don't have infrastructure, you did not put infrastructure in place, and then you want to blame the private sectors. The African Continental Free Zone, their General Secretary, he traveled to Abuja, to Seme, together with me. I think about 4 years ago. I told them on that meeting, I said, you are continue doing meeting recommendation. There's no follow-up. This meeting, let us go to Seme border. All of us was there. The custom was there. The Nigerian Shipper Council was there. Nigerian Export Promotion Council was there. We have done that to do the assessment. Ask them questions. Say, I, Salami, say it. That infrastructure along Seme, is it working? When you are talking every time, talking, story, recommendation. No. If I'm lying, let the committee from Abuja, let them come to Seme next week. And let them go and do the assessment on Lagos-Abidjan corridors. And tell me this is the infrastructures they have put in place. Where is the way bridge? Where is the scanning? So if we did not put proper infrastructure in place, we will continue pashi-pashi. You know what we call pashi-pashi? You will continue turning up and down. If you want to organize another meeting, you have to call the African Continental Free Zone. You have to call Nigerian Custom. You have to call Nigerian Shipper Council. You have to call Nigerian Export Promotion Council. All of them have to be there. And ECOWAS Commission should be there. When you are calling me alone as an expert on trade, whatever I can say here cannot work. Let them come round table, let us sit down together. When we sit down together, I will be asking them questions. And we are not going to sit down here, we are going to Seme. Lagos-Abidjan corridor represent 19% of volume of trade. Where is the infrastructures? So these are the issues, madam. All of you,
all right.
you are well educated. And you are not doing the right thing. I was asking a question for those who are in the top. I ask them question. You are talking about formalizing trade. When do you go to Seme border? When do you go to Shikanda border? When do you go to Kilibo or Kerete border? When do you go to Megatari borders? When do you go to Banki border? To go and listen to the problem. The security challenges is poverty, injustice, lack of infrastructures. And then you don't talk about trade when there's no security, when there's no infrastructures, when there's no electricity. You cannot be competitive. Madam, you want to be competitive? You should put all those things in place.
All right.
Most of them have been going to Johannesburg. They have been going to
Alhaji, thank you so
Rwanda,
much.
going to do meeting there. Is it the same infrastructures? They are in that place.
All right.
So these are the challenges. The moment they didn't put foundation, they don't have foundation. No foundation.
All right, Alhaji, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing those matters up. And that's why we're having
next week.
And that's
Madam,
and that's why we're
Abuja,
having this conversation.
Tell them I say it.
You know, that's
the
why we're
ECOWAS
having this
Commission
conversation.
The Minister of Trade should be there. All the ministry. Let them come to Lagos.
I will tell
Let
them.
us go to Lagos Abidjan corridors. Let us go and see it. These are the situation.
All right. To at least some of them, and I'll certainly bring up your concerns and try to get answers. I mean, I'm a journalist. I can just ask the questions. That's why we brought you on the program. Thank you so much for sharing your views and bringing up those issues. Vice President in charge of international and national relations, the West Africa cross-border traders. Thank you so much, Alhaji Salami Alashadura, for your time.
In the 21st century, Nigeria cannot be